Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal and Dr. Brandon Nielsen.
Yes, sirree.
And here we are to talk about our liver. Right here, our liver. Your liver needs your attention most of the time, or at least it needs to be in your mind about how it performs for you. It's a massive detox organ, and it needs to be really thought of before it causes you problems,
Yeah,
right?
when I think of the liver, if you look at the root word of liver, it's actually live.
Right.
What's really interesting about the liver is science has been able to duplicate an iron lung. They can do dialysis. They can even keep your brain alive, but guess what they can't keep alive? The
Your liver.
liver. The
Yeah.
liver is the most, well, they're all complicated, but especially the liver is so complex. You cannot live without it. In fact, they have to give you a transplant.
And here's the cool thing
It's
about your liver though too. You could donate half your liver to
get,
someone and
uh,
your liver regrows.
yes, it
So it
does.
is a complex organ, but it's a miraculous
It is. It's
organ.
amazing. So,
So what I wanted to talk about was how do we keep our liver healthy? What are some things we can do to detox, cleanse it, and some lifestyle things that we can do to keep our liver healthy?
okay.
So right off the top of your head, what's your first thoughts on that?
Um, I mean it. So you're just saying like somebody who's like has a fatty liver, cirrhosis, or you just talking more like let's prevent and keep a clean liver?
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
That to me, because
Okay.
yeah.
So one of the biggest burdens. So if you think about this, the liver has so many complex biochemical pathways. It is one of, like she said, it's one of the main detoxifiers of the body. It goes through detoxification, also the kidneys, also the lungs, but the liver, okay? And one of the things I got to tell people is you guys, the liver detoxifies, but there aren't toxins in the liver, okay? Does that make sense?
Does the liver accumulate toxins?
No.
Okay.
Okay?
Just asking.
No, that's good. I'm glad we talked about this because it detoxifies, but it doesn't accumulate. So sometimes people will be like, well, what if I'm eating liver? Or sometimes if I'm using a bovine glandular liver, aren't there going to be toxins? No, the answer is no. It produces, it's kind of cool. It actually produces and kind of packages up. So phase one would be kind of collecting the garbage. Phase two, think of it as packaging up and getting rid of the garbage, like through your poop, right? Yeah. And so, and you guys, so don't think of the liver as toxic. Imagine if the liver was toxic and it was collecting all this junk right there, you would become completely toxic. Like you'd have all these heavy metals there and all these chemicals, you would die. So your liver doesn't accumulate the toxins. Okay?
That's very cool. Yay. Look how happy you are about
Isn't that cool?
Yes,
because
I
a
love
lot
it.
of people don't understand that and they think, oh, well, if I eat a liver supplement, am I eating toxins? No. Okay? So one of the main detoxifiers, not one of the main detoxifier of the body is what's called glutathione. And your precursor to glutathione is N-acetylcysteine. And what that does is and then you're going to have some herbs like in your formula, you're going to have some herbs that are going to help precurse or help detoxify, like your milk thistle, your dandelion, those type of things.
Yep.
That are, like the milk thistle will be a detox, or excuse me, a precursor as well. That's going to help you create glutathione. That is a chemical in your body, biochemically made. You can orally ingest it, or you can actually get injections, or you can actually do it nebulized, and we can talk about that to actually help the liver. So what are some of the main things for the liver to help take the burden off the liver? Well, one of the biggest things I see is junk food. Honestly, not just junk food, but junky food. Um, and I'll tell you with my own self, I don't eat a lot of sugar, but if I do eat too much sugar, I will actually, my liver, it'll be too much of a load on my liver, and the liver will actually use either my feet, my skin to detoxify, so like my feet might stink a little bit, or actually my armpits. I actually might have a little bit of a stinky armpit. I'm not a smelly person, but I've noticed when my liver starts getting taxed a little bit, if I've been eating too much food, because then the smell will change in my armpits, all right? So sometimes, now there is naturally, you will get bacteria buildup and you can have armpits that smell, But I will notice that, and sometimes to check liver health, I'll actually look at people's feet to find out
Oh,
what's going on, and if their liver is congested, or if they're kind of stinky, or if they have just kind of a smell. I'll notice that their liver isn't able to do its job and get rid of the toxins. All right. Sometimes you'll see that as well with people when they start eating foods that are inappropriate and they can't actually eliminate through their bowels. So pooping, right? Defecation. And what will happen is it will start to back up and the liver will start to get toxic as well. So one of the best things that you can do for your liver actually is increasing the amount of fluids, which sounds so cliche because it's so normal, and decrease the amount of foods that aren't real, and then making sure that you're actually pooping and peeing normally, but especially, um, yeah, pee, absolute, you have to, like, urination, but defecation, that you're not just pooping, but that you're actually eliminating your bowels, meaning you're getting it all out. It feels like you're getting it out. That is one of the most important things to liver health is actually defecation, and then eating properly.
well, and if you eat properly, you're going to have normal eliminations.
You'll have normal
Like,
eliminations
it all
and
makes
it will
sense.
evacuate the bowels. So, I mean, as far as when we talk about those, so you guys, supplements are to supplement a healthy lifestyle. They're not to take the place of. So when things like Amazing Liver Love that Jane has, her product, which she so beautifully crafted and worked on, and it supplements a healthy lifestyle. It's not to take the place of.
No.
Um, as far as, you know, liver cleanses, let's talk about liver cleanses
Yeah, I
because
mean,
I totally support them.
yeah, I mean, one of my favorites is really simple. It's just a warm glass of water in the morning with half of a fresh lemon squeezed into it.
Wonderful.
Just that, first thing in the morning. I also think that if you do that along with some fasting, your liver gets a rest. You know, we talk about fasting.
Fasting is great.
It's because it's so important to give your body a rest, and it also reminds you to dial back in your nutrition and clean it up a little bit. I would say that if you are eating a lot of fast food, processed food, junk food, soda, all of those things, um, your body's giving you signs that it's not okay to eat that way. And the problem is those foods are addicting.
They are
And
addicting.
if to break yourself of that takes a really deep desire to live in vibrant health. And usually what I find is people don't typically change unless they have some big wake up call where they might have something go wrong with their liver, they might have something go wrong with their heart or their veins or whatever, you know. So I think that if you have a desire to be healthy, then prevention is the key. But as far as, have you heard of cinnamon tea?
Mm-hmm.
So
I have.
cinnamon tea, and one of the easy ways to do this is just get really good
My
cinnamon.
kids love it.
Yeah, it
They
is
make
really,
it.
and it's so good for your liver.
It
That's
is.
actually a liver cleansing
It is, and it
herb.
actually is great for your blood sugars. I'll
It
tell you two things about the
yeah.
liver in a minute. Oh, do you want me to tell
No,
you?
go, yeah.
So, yeah, I just saw something down there too. I love this right here. But you guys, this isn't a trick question, but where are your blood sugars? Y'all know you have to have blood sugars to be able to live, right? And your brain uses most of your blood sugars. So
Yeah,
where is gluconeogenesis? Where are blood sugars made? The
in your
liver.
liver.
Most people think it's the pancreas. The pancreas actually produces insulin, which actually
Right.
gets blood sugars into the cell, but it's the liver. Okay, so important, the liver. And so what happens? Oh, another important thing, super important that most people actually think is a bad, whereas cholesterol manufactured the liver. So a lot of times I'll see people, they start taking statin drugs, and what happens, statins meaning anti-cholesterol drugs, and what I'll see is people actually, you can look up the research, but a lot of times people, blood sugars will actually start to climb and people will get secondary diabetes from a statin drug.
Right.
But the cholesterol isn't bad. We can talk about that another day. We should.
I would like to.
But cholesterol actually is produced and organized in the liver. So some of the two most important in hormones as well. I mean, like your thyroid hormone, a great part of your thyroid hormone, it's actually the T4, right? You take one of those iodine elements off and then you get T3. So it activates through the liver, process of the liver. Anyway, so what I was going to say about that is keeping the liver is so vital, so clean, the liver clean is so vital. Jane had mentioned, or she put down cinnamon tea. Excellent. Another good thing to actually help with liver health are actually, you put down flax seeds.
I did.
Um, and the reason why actually flax seeds are really great because they actually help cleanse the bowels out. And so then they relieve the liver of having to stress. You guys remember, if your bowels aren't working very well, if your kidneys aren't working very well, if your lungs aren't very well, the liver is going to try to take up a big it's going to try to take up the deficit and try to make up the difference for that. And so that's why I say when you add in a bunch of garbage, your liver has to work harder and it's going to try to push it out, gives like the skin that type, and then you start smelling. Then you start stinking. I'm just going to say it. So you guys, liver, flax seeds. Yes, tell me more about flax seeds. I love flax seeds.
I love flax seeds too. I think that to me, it's just eating close to Mother Nature.
Mhm.
Just eat the thing, eat a wide range, like berries and nuts and, seeds, flax seeds, vegetables, flax seeds just simply give your body, they expand inside your body and they help keep your bowels clean. And they're just full of nutrition. They're full of good fats and
They do. They expand. They're a phenomenal fiber. They mop up junk so well.
right.
And so that's why, because they mop up things in the bowels, they actually ease the burden on the liver.
Right.
So
There
phenomenal.
you go. And then I put down like veggie juice, like carrot and celery
Yes.
juice
Yes.
is really, really good for your liver health.
I'll add one maybe the most important vegetable for your liver. You ready for this? Beets.
Beets. Oh, yeah.
Beets are
Yeah.
phenomenal for the liver. They're one of the best for the liver. What?
And partly too why? Is because if you eat a baked beet, you probably know this, it helps to clear mucoid plaque out of your colon.
Yes. Again, see, you guys see the relationship? 3 times now we've mentioned the relationship of the liver to the colon, or the liver to the gut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the beets helping cleanse out the plaque, the junk, the debris on the side of the mucus or the walls. Also, flax seeds help do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so those are phenomenal. But it's that correlation of the elimination tube, right?
Yeah.
To what's packaging it up. And that's the liver. It's packaging up the garbage for you to eliminate.
Yeah, it loves you. It takes such good care of you.
Loves this.
Yeah. So, I think, drinking a lot of water, we talked about hydration in the very beginning. And then I wrote here, stay away from soda, sugar, junk food, processed food, and saturated fats, especially,
Absolutely.
I think it's, wow. It's actually all these things. You could talk about a lot of this stuff that would affect, like you said, kidneys, gallbladder, thyroid. Like we have all these organs and these systems that just
They're all tied
respond.
together.
They're all tied together. So some of these things are specific, especially if you feel like maybe you've been abusing your liver a little bit. Dial in the nutrition part and then get some of these little cleanses. Even something as simple as a warm glass of water with a fresh squeeze, half of it squeeze lemon juice in it. Start your day that way, and then maybe don't eat until lunchtime, and just do that, and your liver gets a lot because it won't have any food from overnight. You start your day like that, and maybe you don't eat until lunch, and make it a healthy, make it a big salad, something that's light and full of dense nutrition. So
that would be an easy way to actually cleanse your liver over time. There's also kind of more intense cleanses like 10 days or 21s or 40 days.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would start with that. I think that's one of the easiest ways to actually just on a daily basis give a light cleanse to the liver, kind of with that intermittent fasting, with that shot of lemon juice and it's kind of a warm lemon tea is what it is.
Yeah.
And what it will, over time, it will just gently cleanse that liver and take the burden off the liver, and just your liver will love you even more.
Yeah, and you'll notice a difference in how you feel. Like, you just be patient. And that one is not a big, expensive cleanse. That is something that everyone can do. And most of us have access to lemons all year long. So grab yourself some lemons and love on your liver.
I love it.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.